In October 1822, the City of London sold £200,000 in government bonds for a country that did not exist. Not a disputed border, not some far-off failed colony, an invention with a government, a national bank, and money. This money, a $1 note printed in Edinburgh by the same firm that printed for the Bank of Scotland, and it carries a promise. One hard dollar will be paid to the bearer at the bank office here. Here meant St. Joseph, the capital city, which existed in exactly one place, a guidebook. There was no bank. There was no here. And still, real people traded real gold for this paper, and then boarded ships to go and live on it. The whole thing held together beautifully for month after month, right up until the first boots hit the beach. This is the Poyais file. The file opens in London, summer of 1821, when a Scottish soldier arrives in town calling himself Gregor I, Cazique, meaning Prince, of Poyais. London does not laugh, because Gregor MacGregor is genuinely famous. A Scot who joined the army at 16 and surfaced 30-odd years later, a general in South America's Wars of Independence, celebrated for a fighting retreat across northern Venezuela that made his name. The metals are real, so is the nerve. In 1817, he took an island off the Florida coast with fewer than 80 men and declared it a republic. It lasted 10 weeks. Most men would file that under failure. MacGregor filed it under practice. Because now he's back, and this time he carries a document. April 1820, on the Mosquito shore of Central America, a local ruler the British call King George Frederick Augustus signs over to MacGregor a grant of land. 8 million acres of coastal jungle. The price, reportedly, rum and jewelry. And that is the detail that makes this file dangerous. The grant is real. A real king, real paper, real jungle. Everything MacGregor says from now on will stand on the one true thing he owns. The land exists. He simply decides that what the land deserves is a country. And he starts at the very top. One of his first letters goes to the desk of Nathan Rothschild. To understand why doors like that opened, you have to see what London was starving for. London, 1822. The wars against Napoleon are over, and the safest thing money can buy, the government consul, pays 3%. The city is stuffed with capital and starving for yield. And right on cue, a whole continent walks in the door. Spain's American colonies, newly independent, all of them borrowing. Colombia raises £2 million, Chile 1 million, Peru 450,000. At 6 and 7%, double the consul. One question though. How does a lender in London verify a government on the far side of an ocean? There are no credit ratings, no embassies wiring home reports. A letter to South America takes months each way. In 1822, a sovereign loan stands on exactly 2 legs, a prospectus that reads well, and a bank respectable enough to put its name on the cover. So that October, when a 4th new government joins the list, at £80 per £100 bond through the bank of a former Lord Mayor of London, The market asks it precisely as many questions as it asked Peru, which is none. At market, Poyais is now as real as Chile. All its founder owes the world is paperwork, and nobody has ever delivered paperwork like this. Start with the guidebook, over 300 pages, published Edinburgh, 1822. Sketch of the Mosquito Shore. The author, a Captain Thomas Strangeways, aide-de-camp to His Highness, a captain who, as far as anyone can tell, never existed. The book is meticulous. The climate? One of the most healthy and beautiful spots in the world. The rivers? One is called the Golden River, page 20, for the grains of that metal being found in its sands. Even the footnotes play along. Bricks, one editor's note reports, are now manufactured about 1.5 miles from the town of St. Joseph's. A footnote about brick production near a town that is not there. Then the land office. Poyais by the acre, 2 shillings and 3 pence, about a laborer's daily wage. Demand holds, so he raises the price. Demand holds again, so he raises it again, 4 shillings. Around 500 certificates sold. October 23rd, the bond itself. £200,000 for the government of Poyais at 6%. Underwritten by Sir John Perring's bank. And then the currency, those dollar notes, offered to the emigrants almost as a courtesy. Exchange your pounds sterling before you sail. You'll be wanting local money. Was anyone suspicious? Yes. The Quarterly Review smells a bubble that very October, and a pamphlet signed Verax fires back in the scheme's defense. London is arguing, in print, about whether Poyais exists, and the money keeps arriving anyway. In September, the Honduras packet clears London with 70 emigrants aboard. In January, the Kennersley Castle leaves Leith with nearly 200 more. Half-pay officers, whole families, an Edinburgh cobbler carrying a letter that appoints him official shoemaker to the Princess of Poyais. 250 people crossing an ocean on the strength of a library. And the Atlantic is wide enough that nobody can warn them what's waiting. November 1822. The Honduras packet reaches the Black River, and 70 passengers come up on deck to look for St. Joseph. There is nothing there. No streets, no bank waiting to honor their dollar notes. Jungle, a beach, and the ruins of a British settlement abandoned in 1787. A date, as it happens, printed in their own guidebook. They decide they must simply be early, pioneers. So they build shelters and wait for Poyais to catch up with its paperwork. In March, the Kennersley Castle delivers 200 more. Then the rainy season arrives, and after the rain, the fevers, malaria, yellow fever, and the camp goes quiet, one family tent at a time. The cobbler, the shoemaker to a princess who does not exist, shoots himself. James Hasty, a Scottish sawyer who sailed with his wife and 3 children, buries 2 of them on that shore. He will print his own account of it when it's over, and his words survive. It seemed to be the will of Providence that every circumstance should combine for our destruction. In May, a schooner out of British Honduras stumbles on the camp. The rescue takes 3 trips. In Belize, the chief magistrate tells the survivors plainly, there is no Poyais. He has never heard of any Cazique. Even the king who signed the original grant now revokes it. He gave land, he says, never a crown. Of roughly 250 who sailed, at least 180 are dead. Fewer than 50 will ever see Britain again. They land in October 1823, almost a year to the day after London priced their country's bonds at 80. Those bonds now trade below 10. And the Cazique of Poyais is in Paris. What happened to him is the real subject of this file. In Paris, MacGregor ran it all again. New company, same country, French investors. That one ended in an arrest and a trial in 1826, and an acquittal. The only conviction in the entire Poyais affair fell on an associate. In Britain, no charge was ever brought at all. So in 1827, he was back in London, floating a new Poyais loan, £800,000 on paper. When that fizzled, he kept filing fresh land certificates into the 1830s, and in 1836, a printed constitution for his country. The satirists had their fun with him. The courts, never again. And some of his settlers defended him to the end. James Hasty, who buried 2 children at the Black River, signed an affidavit swearing the Cazique himself had been deceived by others. Consider how good a story has to be for its victims to keep telling it. The market showed no such loyalty. In December 1825, the Latin American loan bubble burst. Colombia, Chile, Peru, every real borrower on that 1822 list defaulted alongside the invented one, and roughly 1 bank in 10 in England failed in the panic. The machine that had priced Poyais priced Peru the same way. It was wrong about both. MacGregor outlived the whole affair. In 1838, he sailed for Venezuela, where the war hero, that part was always true, was restored to his general's rank with a pension. He died in Caracas in 1845 and was buried with full military honors. He was never convicted of anything, anywhere. The note in this file still carries its promise. $1 hard dollar, payable to the bearer at the bank office here. Every page of this file is real, except the country. The rest of the documents are in the description. The next case file is already open. Start there. And if you'd rather see the documents than take anyone's word for it, subscribe. There's always another page in the Swindle papers.